All right, guys, thanks so much. Yeah, we had news this morning on Kontrol Technologies here in Toronto. Trades on the NEO Exchange, KNR. There you go. Yeah, they completed the acquisition of Global HVAC Automation Incorporated. Paul Ghezzi, CEO of Kontrol Technologies, joining us once again on the show. It's great to have you back, Paul. Congratulations, first of all. This is obviously pretty exciting for the company. There was also another headline in that announcement, and that's the record revenue order book of $155 million. So big day for the company. Tell us a little bit about this deal and what it means for Kontrol.
Sure. So thanks for having me back. So this is a really big win for Kontrol. It does a couple things. It establishes a firm order book that's now a record order book at $155 million over the next 3 years. It allows us to increase our outlook for this year and gives us a really solid outlook next year, where next year we'll be trading at about more than double this year, and this year is more than triple last year in terms of revenue. So really nice growth path for the company, really solid acquisition. And, the way we think about it, we're just getting started, and we're in a great industry that's consolidating, and, we're part of that move.
It's definitely an industry that I think we're going to hear a lot more about, as we mentioned the last time you were on. We talked a little bit about things reopening and people getting back to something that resembles the normalcy of everyday life. Kontrol operates in 3 different segments: software, projects, and services. Where does this acquisition fall within that, and tell us, why this was such an attractive target?
Sure. So if we start with who is our customer is any building that's about 40,000 square feet or larger. Typically, buildings of those size, 70% of their energy consumption comes through the HVAC system, which is heating, cooling, ventilation. And if you can influence that part of the building, you can drive deep energy savings, you can reduce greenhouse gas emissions, and part of that, you can create safer spaces with better air quality. So in that context, we've bought a project company with very large project revenues. We're taking our service platform and our software work platform, which are recurring revenue based, and adding it to these project revenues. So over time, what we're going to be able to do is move those project revenues to a much more recurring or higher recurring platform, which of course has higher gross margins. And in our industry, if you can get to 50-50, typically, companies at that kind of 50-50 revenue split between recurring and project tend to attract the highest multiples. And that's how we create value for long-term shareholders, is building up that recurring revenue over time.
So as we see, we're moving into the second half of the year, obviously, and into Q3 now, as we see the end of summer approaching and obviously the fall months approaching. Where is the biggest demand coming right now? You mentioned, who the end user really is there. Where are we seeing the biggest demand, though, for these products at this point?
So I would say, commercial's taken a big hit. And why is that? We've been not going back to the office. So as the vaccines roll out and commercial spaces open up again, there's this great concern over air quality. Is this a safe space that I'm in? And how do I operate an effective and efficient building, perhaps with a higher vacancy rate? So in terms of our customers, what they're really looking for is lower energy spend. Everyone's interested in reducing their greenhouse gas emissions. Most corporations have a 2050 mandate for net zero. And then it's about creating safer spaces. So the sweet spot for Kontrol is those buildings with that size footprint that really all have the same challenges across the board. They may be different facilities, but the challenges are the same. So the demand is really coming from all facets of those 3 key verticals in our business.
So as we see, as we mentioned, people getting back to the office and getting back to a normal way of life, the obvious question here, Paul, becomes, you said you're just getting started. What can investors then anticipate from KNR, Kontrol Technologies, to come still?
Yeah, so if you think about where we started this 5 years ago with $1 million of revenue, our outlook for this year is ending the year at approximately, $37 million. Looking forward to next year, looking at about $70 million. You can start to put the pieces together that this is a great growth story. We're in the right sector at the right time, and we're executing. Combination of organic growth, value acquisitions that we can drive recurring revenue into, and we're excited about the future.
KNR, guys, on the NEO Exchange here in Toronto. There's also, you can see on the bottom there, KNRLF, which trades on the OTC markets in the U.S. Paul Ghezzi, CEO of Kontrol Technologies. Always a pleasure. Congratulations.
Thank you.
There we go, guys. If you want that symbol again, KNR on the NEO Exchange here in Toronto. Guys.